So I'm glad you're with us again today. Hope you're finding the information worthwhile. Today I want to pick up with the 7 traits of a dynamic swing. It'll be part 2. Yesterday we went over the first part of that, some 4 items. But before I get into that, I had a question that came through, and before I even get to that question, hey, thank you for sending in the questions and such. And you can do that through the messenger. This one came on an email. You can leave a comment, and please, if you would just help me out, if you just share it or like it or just pass it along for all the information. But let's get to the question first. The question was, why are you doing this? Okay, basically it boiled down to, why are you doing this? And, obviously, always that belief is that, hey, that's leading to something, it's going to affect me in the wallet or whatever. Look, all that I am doing is just giving you the physical aspects of how to make a swing, the physical aspects to pitching, and so on and so forth. And what I would say to you, what you already know is what will keep you stuck. So what you already know is going to keep you in that same point. And my belief is, I know I have something that will help you. Okay, and all I am doing right now is just dispelling old myths about pitching, old myths about hitting, the old, well, this is how I did it. I just don't think that flies. So, what I want to do is I want to put out some information to you, let you see things in a different way. And so as a part of that question, what a great question that it was. I will tell you, as I come over here, I'm looking at my notes. Let me pull my notebook in. Okay. 1, 2. There's another one in here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 pages. 7 pages of notes that I took off of that question as to, why am I doing this? 7 pages of notes, because I just really don't think it's about the physical. You know me. I think there's a little bit more to it, and that all went back to the first day or two. So it is something that I want to do. Probably at the end of this, I will probably go back to my sources and gather our sources again, and hopefully if I can get them and get everybody on board at the same time, we'll bring everybody on. We'll do some type of special webinar for you at that point. Okay, but that's where I wanted to share the answer to that question. There's, I'm invested in this. This is about trying to put out good information for our kids, for our coaches, for our parents, and so that's the why. So I hope that helps. Okay. All right. So getting back, hey, I've got my coffee with me. I'm on my day 3 of the 4-day break for the Penguins. So I have my Penguin mug. Let me pull it back in. There's my Penguin mug. Okay. So I got my coffee. We're set to go. Without further ado, let's get back to the deal at hand here. So 7 traits of a dynamic swing as we get into part 2 here. So let me get over to my slides. Yesterday, we started with the stretch and loading. We talked about leveraging. We talked about the absorption, the lead arm lockout, and what we're talking about. The one thing I didn't talk about in absorption, how we train that. That's where a lot of times I'll work. And yeah, we've got tons of drills for that, and you can just ask me for anything else. But the one drill that really works a lot is using a basketball. Make it appropriate to your age. So if the kids are under the age of 12, I'm probably working with like the mini basketball. And I'm not sure, you see them, they're like $4 or $5. And then with the older kids, I'm using a slightly deflated regulation basketball. And obviously they're not good basketballs, they're the rubber ones. And eventually you knock them out of shape. But so when we're talking about absorption, that's one of the drills that we would do for that. We finished up with forward momentum. The idea of trying to move forward, and we talked about using the Happy Gilmore drill and some things like that. So today I want to pick up with the final 3 traits. So 7 traits. Yesterday we got through 4. Today's pick up with sweet spot awareness. How we develop that, and obviously that's trying to get the ball onto the barrel of the bat in the appropriate place, in that sweet spot of the bat, and we go about doing that. I like to use a whole bunch of different items, different weights, different sizes, different textures. So we can switch up on that and create a variety, which will force the body into making adjustments. And we've used pipe, we've used shovel handles, heavy bats, longer bats, lighter bats, bats with hit jackets on them, heavier balls. Any of these items that the NOS trainer, it's like the little golf ball on the end of a chain where we're hitting small balls. We have the smaller baseballs. So anything that is forcing us to forcing the body into making changes and into becoming aware of what we want, because by doing that, we're always going to affect the timing to the ball and how we get to it. So, if without me being a faster pitcher, I can become faster by putting a hitter into a heavier bat. So, we start working those ways and such. Hey, and just along that way, we're talking here level one swing school. There, we're working with level 2 and level 3 as well, which start to get more into the overall idea of hitting. So, and again, to me, the physical aspect of it just, that not everything is wrapped up in that physical aspect. But if I can get my my swing school, my hit school, if I can get these traits correctly, I'm going to be far better when I get into the level 2 and the level 3, where we start looking at game planning and mindsets and the differences of what's going on. Okay, so let me see here. My screen just went a little blank. I popped up. The next thing coming up here should be pitch timing. And what we're doing here with our pitch timing, it's body timing. Body timing is number 6, and body timing is basically my awareness in the amount of time it takes me to make a swing. And I believe this was Jed Lowry with Oakland, and just running through a sequence of swings going on, and we see a great leverage. I didn't have this photo yesterday when we were talking about leveraging and such, and here you see this back leg almost being straight in that upper left picture, and we see the leg kick here, and then he drops, and he's dropping here. He's holding his bat gap. He's shining the flashlight. All these things that Joey would like. The attack angle is pretty good. He's really controlling his midline. And I'm looking in the upper right as I say this. He's controlling that midline. He's controlling the drop of that front foot. We can see that front foot is hit in my position that we've talked about in the past as he's getting ready to make his swing. So all of those items, it's all those things that we've talked about, the previous 5 leading up to how do I make head and perform that swing time after time after time. So when I get into hit, and I get it, because a lot of time, and I was one of these guys, so a lot of times kids like the whole idea of swinging and putting the bat on every ball that gets thrown up to the plate, and it becomes somewhat of a game where the ball is bouncing. So the kids will they'll try to take swings at everything that's getting thrown up to them. So we want to make sure that we're emphasizing discipline within your strike zone. Yeah, there's a time where we can go out and have some fun with it and try that. But overall, we want to make sure that the kids are understanding just exactly what we're trying to accomplish within our hitting practice. So, so as we go, some of the things that we've talked about already. Here's that that little hip load that we did on one of the first videos of the series. But we see this really good stretch, especially as it starts to come into here. Then Mr. Lowry here, as he's almost coming down into that my position. And if we haven't talked about it, we'll make sure that we get there. But he's got some really fantastic stretch going here through the shoulders, up through the sling. At this point, he's done a great job of holding the bat gap at this point. So these are all characteristics that we're trying to accomplish and understand how it is that I make my swing, how it is that I become my most efficient when I'm doing such. And then the final trait that we want to get to here today is this whole idea of pitch timing. And pitch timing is the delivery of that pitcher as he takes that ball and he brings it to us, however his windups are or whatever. What they look like, herky-jerky, he hides it well, he's showing everything. But basically what we have to be able to do is to take our swing and marry it to his action. So, obviously we're trying to hit that ball exceptionally well. And this is what the body is perceiving as hitting, this idea of marrying body timing to pitch timing. And so, I want to go back. I always want to remember that the number one job of the body is to protect itself from danger. And so there's a perception from the body that ball being thrown at it can hurt us because we've probably all been hit by a pitch. So it perceives this action as completely different than anything else. So that is why there's oftentimes very little carryover from a practice into a game, because that perception doesn't exist. If we're sitting there and we're just working off of a tee is a particular tool. I don't think a tee improves my swing in the sense that we're thinking about improving my swing. What a tee can do for me, it allows me to have feel and awareness of my movement. But there's no threat there. So, and there are some bad things that can happen with tees as well. And I'm digressing here just a little bit. The tee, if I don't move that tee around, I'm going to start grooving swings. Now, it takes a while to groove swings. I understand that. But I want to understand I'm just not in there and just taking swing after swing after swing mindlessly. There has to be a reason, a focused, deliberate reason why I want to take that swing in order for me to improve my swing, in order for me to create awareness, in order for me to create feel on what it is I'm exactly doing. So for me, that tee drill ends up revolving around. You want to do drills? Well, you can create your own when we're trying to do this. And yes, I think as we go through here, I'll throw some drills in there so we understand the stuff that we're doing in future videos. But so now my drill work is based on how do I stretch and load? How do I leverage? How do I work on eliminating absorption? What am I talking about with my lead arm lockout? What can I feel? Forward momentum. How am I moving into the ball and through the ball? The sweet spot awareness. So those are the things that the tee will allow me to do. But at the end of the day, I have to come back and marry these two together in order for me to feel what I'm doing. So, so that's pretty much our 7 traits that we're going to go work on. All right. So, as we get into this a little bit more, I will put up some stuff, but I will put up some videos that are drill specific to each of these topics right here. Okay. The pointer works a little bit better. If you were, if I was on screen, you'd see that I was actually pointing at the screen with my finger and not drawing. But so we'll make sure that we get to this as well. Anyhow, check this out again. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking about pitching again. I apologize here for the slideshow going down. It's not the slideshow going down. It is user operator error. So just always bear with me when it comes to the tech. It is the information that matters, not how pretty it looks. But anyhow, I just wanted to get that back out to you today. I wanted to finish up with that. Hope everybody has a good day. We're back tomorrow. We're talking pitching tomorrow. And I'm going to do something with these 6 pages of notes that I took. It was a really good question. I don't think it was meant to be that way, but it turned into that. And I think I want to get this idea out to all of us, because I do think I can be of help in that regard. Okay. Hey, everybody, have a good day. I'll see you here tomorrow. Hey, not too bad today. I got her done in 15 minutes. It's in the ballpark. So we're getting there. Everybody have a good day. See you tomorrow.